Hello everyone. In today's lesson, Arabic letter shapes in a word, I will introduce you to the letter Noon. Now, this unique letter shape, Noon, belongs to the friendly group, meaning that it agrees to reshape its form to connect with other letters in a word. And as you can see here, the shape of the Noon is basically a curve that has an opening from the top and a dot. Now, in previous lessons, we learned when we learned about letters like Sin, Sad, Shin, Dad, Ain, Ghain, Ha, Kha. All these letters they had vertical or horizontal curves, correct? And we usually, when we connect the letters, we get rid of the curves. But here with the noon, the basic shape itself is the curve. So let's see how these changes will take place. Okay, now here we have the isolated letters, the isolated letter, and here just a quick look at the initial and medial position. Does these shapes look familiar to you? Let's take a close look. Now here in the initial position or at the beginning of the word, you can see that we kept the first edge of the noon, and then we got rid of a lot of portion of the letter, including the other edge, and we extended a line. What does this shape reminds you with? We learned some letters that has the same shape in the initial and medial position. They look familiar. So this is what happens to the noon. It gets rid of its curve, and then it starts with this curve, and then extend the line to connect to the next letter. The medial position, we kept the form of the initial position, the same form, the noon with the first part or the first edge, and then we extended a line after the noon. Of course, here we extended an extra line before because it's in the middle. And finally, at the end of a word or in the final position, the noon restores its original shape, the isolated shape, and get back its curve. And of course, we extend a line to connect it with the previous letter. So as you can see here that the letter Noon is a highly cooperative letter because it agrees to get rid of its distinctive feature. It has its curve and agrees to look like the letters. I just asked you if you're familiar with these letters from previous lessons, and yes, they were the ba, ta, and tha. When they are in the initial and medial position, they have the same pattern. We get rid of the space regarding the ba, ta, and tha, and here we get rid of the curve, and of course in all the letters we get rid of the second edge just to fit in and connect with other letters in a word. And here we have examples containing the letter noon in actual words, just to see how much space and size of the letter that we compressed and saved just to save place for other letters to connect the letter noon with the other letters in a word. This is the beginning, this is the medial, and this is the final position of the noon. Here I also put some examples of the letter noon when they are preceded by refusing letters. They here in the middle of a word, it's as if it starts from the beginning, and here it's the noon, it's completely isolated. Here I want to just to point out something. You can see that this is the letter dal and this is the letter noon. They look a lot the same. Maybe that's why the letter that refuses to connect, because if it connects with letters, yeah, I mean, if they connect to the next letter, maybe it will be confused with the noon, because the noon actually here looks like the dal, except that the dal does not connect with the next letter. So this is maybe the reason it refuses to be a copy of another letter. And of course, this will help us to differentiate between the letters when they are within words. And finally, I will leave you with a visual review of the reshaping of the noon. And that was all for today's lesson with the letter noon. Thank you for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.